Hero players, welcome back. So today I'm going to talk about Neo-Spacian Aqua Dolphin and how we can get benefit from its effect. So basically what it does is, when we discard a card from our hand, we can check our opponent's hand and we can destroy a card, whether it can be a hand trap or a combo starter. Now, many meta decks today can do the same to us, such as Vyon or K9. They can check our hand or our deck, they can get information about us, and they can shape their end board depending on what we are playing or what we are holding in our hand. This is a really huge benefit for the player who can do this, and that's why today we are going to do the same strategy against our opponents. Now, for example, if we are facing against a meta deck such as Branded, they have super polymerization in their deck, and our end board unfortunately lose against cards like that, because Dark Law, DPE, and Contrast Hero Chaos, for example, all three of them are dark attributes. So once they use super polymerization, for example, they can get rid of all 2 or 3 monsters that we control, and they can fusion summon their Predaplant monster from their extra deck. So that's why checking our opponent's hand and knowing what type of deck they are playing is a huge advantage for our case when we summon Neo-Spacian Aqua Dolphin and use its ability. In those scenarios, for example, we can decide to fusion summon Dark Law only and keep it as the only dark attribute on our field, and we can bring other fusion monsters such as Elemental Hero Absolute Zero, for example, or we can fusion summon Mask Hero Atomic. So we can also adapt and change our strategies depending on what our opponent is holding in their hand. We are going to start with Stratos as usual, and we are going to use its search effect in order to search Miracle Ejector. Now, we would like to have Miracle Ejector because first, we need Aqua Dolphin in the graveyard, and second, Miracle Ejector is our 1-card combo starter. So that's why we are going to dump Aqua Dolphin and Spatial Summon her, and then we are going to use this effect in order to search E and Shuffle. Now we can use E and Shuffle to return Miracle Ejector in order to summon a second copy of Stratos. Now, if you remember from the previous videos, Stratos search effect is not hard once per turn, so we can use it as much as we want. And what we would like to search is 1 copy of Vyon and 1 copy of Fountain. Now, Vyon can let us to search polymerization from our deck. This is really important. And once we send Shadow Mist to the graveyard, we can make another search. But why do we need Fountain also? Well, we have already used our normal summon. We need a way to spatial summon Vyon to our field, and that is going to be with Fountain. But first, we are going to search Dustgrove, because once Dustgrove is summoned to the field, we can actually search a mass change from our deck, which is going to be Fountain. So we can actually extend our board with extra bodies. Now, we are going to Xyz summon number 60, because first, we control 2 level 4 monsters, and second, we are going to use this effect in order to summon another Stratos. So we are going to use its second ability in order to spatial summon Stratos from our graveyard, and as you know, this is not hard once per turn, so we can make another search, which is going to be Vyon. Now we are going to spatial summon Mask Hero Dustgrove by banishing Stratos from our graveyard, and then we are going to use its search effect immediately to get Fountain. Now we can use Fountain's effect in order to spatial summon Vyon to our field, and we are going to use Vyon's first ability in order to send Shadow Mist to the graveyard, which is going to trigger her effect so that we can make another hero search from our deck. Now at this moment, we would like to search Elemental Hero Neos. Why? Because we would like to fusion summon Elemental Hero Flame Wingman, and the summoning conditions are 2 Elemental Hero monsters with different attributes. So we already control Stratos, which is a wind attribute, and now we need a second Elemental Hero monster, which is different than wind attribute. So Neos is the perfect choice for this case. It is a light monster, it is an Elemental Hero, and most importantly, it is a normal monster. If you would like to use the secondary effect of Flame Wingman and Thunder Giant, you have to use a normal monster as material. So that's why we have to search Neos here. Now, we are going to use Vyon's effect by banishing Shadow Mist from our graveyard. We are going to search for polymerization. Before we fuse these monsters, we are going to make a link summon, which is going to be Extra Hero Wonder Driver. What's really good about Wonder Driver is not only it can refresh our cards such as polymerization, but also its effect doesn't restrict us into heroes. So now we are going to use polymerization. And we are going to fusion summon Flame Wingman by using Stratos and Neos. You should summon it right under Wonder Driver because that's where its arrow points to. Now we are going to resolve the polymerization set, and we are going to use the search effect of Flame Wingman, which is going to let us to get our trap card from our deck to our hand. Now at this moment we would like to make another link summon, which is going to be Cross Sheep. The summoning conditions are two monsters with different names, so we are going to get rid of number 60 Dugares and extra hero Wonder Driver. It doesn't matter where you summon it, as long as one of the arrows points is empty. So now we are going to use Flaming Mass effect because we have used Elemental Hero Neos as normal monster, which is going to help us to special summon Sunrise from our deck. And we would like to summon right here, for example, because its arrow is pointing right here. Now, we have to decide the chain link here. Actually, for summoning Aqua Dolphin from our graveyard, it doesn't matter because this effect doesn't trigger when you summon him to the field, okay? So you need to decide what you want to chain block here. If you would like to search your Miracle Fusion safely, then you can put this to chain link 1, for example, and Cross Sheep to chain link 2. But if you wanna protect your graveyards, then you can swap the chain links. Now we would like to special summon Aqua Dolphin from our graveyard, and we would like to make a search, which is going to be Miracle Fusion. Now, in the previous videos, if you remember, normally instead of special summoning Aqua Dolphin, we would summon Stratos. But now we can actually use this effect and check our opponent, which is going to give us a huge benefit. Now, there are a couple of things that I like to mention. Number 1, discarding is cost because there's a semicolon right here. So that means if we try to resolve this effect, if our opponent tries to negate this effect, the discarding will still happen, okay? Because this is a cost. The second thing that I like to mention is if our opponent controls a monster that is equal or less than 3100, we can destroy it. If our opponent, for example, has Nibiru in their hand, we can destroy Nibiru because Nibiru has 3000 attack points. So that's why having Sunrise is really crucial on our field, because normally Sunrise has 2500 attack points, but because of his effect, we can actually boost our attack damage by 200 for each different attribute that we control. Right now we have Earth, Water, and Light. That's why its attack rises up to 3100. So now we are going to use its effect to dump a card. We are going to check our opponent's hand and destroy whatever we want. So at this moment, if our opponent had super polymerization, for example, we could change our endboard differently. But for this video specifically, I'm going to summon Darklove, DPE, and Chaos as usual. Okay, so let's continue. At this moment, what we would like to do is use Miracle Fusion in order to fusion summon Thunder Giant. The summoning conditions are at least 2 elemental hero monsters with different attributes, so we can actually banish Flame Wingman and Neos. Do not banish Stratos, guys, okay? We need to have this card in our graveyard. You will see why. Now, Thunder Giant has 2 abilities, and we are going to use its second ability. We can use its second ability because we used the normal monster, which was Elemental Hero Neos. When we tribute him, we can special summon Stratos back to our field. So that's why we didn't banish Stratos, okay? And now we can use Stratos search effect one more time because it's not hard once per turn, if you remember. And what we would like to search at this very moment is Masquerade Furnace. We are going to use polymerization in order to fusion summon Contrast Hero Chaos by sending our Masquerade monsters to the graveyard. Now, both of these cards are going to trigger their effects, so we need to decide the chain link. I'm gonna put Furnace as chain link 1 and Fountain as chain link 2 in order to chain block its special summoning effect to the field. We are gonna set Mask Change, which is important for summoning Darklove, and we are going to special summon Furnace. Now, we are going to link summon Infernal Devicer by using 2 hero monsters. We can use Furnace and Stratos, for example. Why we did that? Because Infernal Devicer is a Dark Attribute monster and we can use it for Mask Change. That's why. Now we are going to summon Anaconda Again, we are not locked into the hero monsters, so that's why we can still use non-hero monsters. We are going to use these two cards and Link Summon Vyon Anaconda. Now we are going to use its effect in order to fusion summon DPE from our deck. We are going to set favorite contact, and we are going to use E and Shuffle's effect from the graveyard by banishing itself and returning Thunder Giant and Aqua Dolphin back to our deck. And we are going to draw a card, which can be literally anything. It can be a hand trap, it can be a combo starter. So if you're lucky, you get something good. So as you can see, that's pretty much our end board. Let's just end our turn, for example. Let's toggle on, and during the draw phase, we can use Mask Change, for example, get rid of Infernal Devicer. And we are going to special summon Mask Hero Dark Love. Now, this end board is still the same end board compared to our previous videos, but in addition, we have improved our strategy, and we could be able to special summon Aqua Dolphin to our field, and we could be able to check our opponent's hand, get some information about their hand and deck, and then we get rid of one of their monsters. So I think this is one of the best way to play this deck, because in the current meta, checking your opponent's hand and not getting some information about their deck is pretty huge advantage for our case. Could we summon a second copy of Contrasura Chaos without summoning Aqua Dolphin? Yes, we could, but trust me, having one less copy of Contra Zero is worth checking our opponent's hand. So I hope that you liked this version of our combo line today. Each video, I'm trying to improve our strategies and come up with different end boards. Some people think that Hero is unplayable, Hero cannot beat the meta decks, Hero is not going to be a meta deck. Guys, Hero doesn't have to be a meta deck. That's why Hero is always considered as a rogue deck. But Hero is a deck that can potentially do literally anything. It can adapt meta actually, because Hero has so many options, so many different paths, so many different variations. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope that everything was clear and smooth, and I'll see you guys next time.